How did I really get started in the business I'm in right now? I was straight up bootlegging Volcom stickers. I would print Volcom shirts for my friends. Like, oh, give me your shirt. I'll print my own design.
What's up, guys? Today we have special guest Jean-Paul. Welcome to the show, bro.
What up? Nice to see you, Daniel.
Dude, so you run a pretty successful marketing, or what would you call your company that you guys do over here?
A production company from design, print, installation of graphics, as well as a digital out-of-home network.
Got it. I mean, we're going to talk about the story of how you started selling golf balls and you kind of got caught bootlegging some T-shirts into where you are today. Very successful multi-million-dollar company. But then I think the cool thing that I want to ask you today selfishly is you guys use a lot of AI in your business today. And I think AI is completely changing the landscape for the way that business is being done. And I'm super interested to see what do you guys do to use AI to kind of power your business?
All right, there's a few answers to that question. So I'm going to start with the very basic. First, a lot of things start at the top. Starts with the CEO. So I personally use it as a coach for myself. Okay. It knows me. I give it details from where I started. I upload company documents, our employee handbook, our guideline, our 1-year vision, 3-year picture, 10-year goals.
So are we talking like ChatGPT?
Absolutely.
So you're uploading all this information into a prompt or a GPT to kind of basically be like a business coach for yourself.
Absolutely. The paid version, and I say do not share and don't train your models with it. I don't know if they do or not. But I made our own GPTs because you can do that. So I call it ChatGPT. That's our business. And then it knows everything about our business. And this is confidential to me. I don't share with other people to see. But it knows our contracts. It knows our revenues. It has our financials. And it's a guide. Think of it as a shepherd along the way. Okay. You can always refer back to.
I feel I think we use a ChatGPT a little bit for our company as well. I use the same thing with as a personal coach, but I feel like it gets a lot of things wrong. I feel like I'm always fighting with it. It'll give me some facts that are incorrect, or it'll take a path that I was like, hey, this is not what I wanted. And so I feel like there's always this battle with GPT. Have you guys experienced that too?
It's so confidently wrong. It's going to give you the wrong answer, but you got to know it hallucinates. I like to think of it as my best friend who knows everything, but also sometimes gets drunk, right? You're getting wrong stuff.
Smoking a little weed or something.
On acid. They're just tripping. Straight up is tripping. But what we like to do, so I'll use it for myself. Okay. But operationally, day-to-day tactics, what I have my team do, start off with analyzing an email. If they get an email from a client that we're working with who has a question or multiple questions a lot of time, we copy, we paste it, the whole email, and say, what is the goal and how can I reply back to these? Because it's already trained to know our company. Okay. And it gives them what to say back. Not exactly, but you say, this is what I want to say back to the client. Please reword this in a way that's concise and clear. And
wait, so
paste.
the GPT that you created, is it a separate GPT for you and then one for your company, or the same ones?
No, I don't even have my staff use our custom GPT. That's for me alone and for me to use. But as we've trained them by doing enough prompts, they're going to know about our company, about what JPEG Media is.
So the ChatGPT knows just from the enough interactions with your team already.
Absolutely, yeah. We seed it with information. So we have the paid account where you can have a team, and then you can add certain context within that.
Okay.
$20 a seat. It's totally worth it.
Okay. So each person has their own GPT basically.
Yeah.
And then they use it for let's say an email comes in, they'll cut and paste the whole email. Yeah. Put it into ChatGPT and ask for some advice on how to respond.
Yeah, you say they already craft a response and they say, does this satisfy what the client is asking? Or take what I wrote and write it in a certain way. It's clear, concise, and gets the message across. So it really cuts out a lot of the fluff and it, nice bullet points along the way. Easy to read.
Do you feel like that takes longer than if they were to just respond without the chat?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes you get caught in a loop. And you could just write, if you're like my brother, my business partner, Brandon, he's the best. He's got the CEO emails down. Okay. 5 words. Done. Not even
no formalities, just quick to the point. Just I have no time.
All lowercase, doesn't even put a period, and he's closing. He's millions of dollars a year. This is Brandon. Easy.
It's funny. So that I talked with another buddy of ours, and he runs a pretty successful business as well too. And then I had this problem where when people ask me questions, and I try to be as nice and as politically correct and things as possible. So I kind of I'll skirt around the issues and kind of dance around it to get the answer and make sure they feel good about everything. So trying to create this kumbaya effect, right? But he's like, so he actually did the same thing for a while. And then I guess his company was tanking. And then like everybody was just like, was not doing their parts. And he came to a point where I guess it boiled over. And he's like, you know what? Screw this. Like, we're not getting this done. I'm just going to be an a-hole and just get to the point with things. And so he started just doing things like very concise and straight to the point. And I think he might have pissed off some of his team. Some of his team actually appreciated it more. But now like everything you ask him is just like to the point and just very efficient, you know?
Yeah. So Brandon, we have a saying at our company. One of our guiding principles is to be nice.
Okay.
So what we say is, so what do you do? We say, well, we create what your business needs, plus we're nice. Okay. Because that nice factor in Hawaii, that's that aloha spirit that have won us many contracts when we're going head to head, apples to apples. It's because the relationship with a person that we connect with, they think we're nice and like to work with us. We've gotten deals that way. So we haven't burned bridges by being short.
Yeah.
I think it's just the shortness to save people time.
Got it.
And my brother doesn't like to type, so it's all voice to text. That's what it is.
I mean, that's a really good point, though. I feel like just being generous, I mean, with like having a spirit of generosity or being nice and authentic goes a really long way as opposed to just winning business, getting clients or partnerships in general.
Yeah, short-term dollars, that's cool and everything, but we're in for a long-term legacy.
Yeah.
I think, how old are you right now?
46.
I just turned 43 a couple days ago. We have decades left in the game.
Yeah.
So our bridges should not be burned. We build bridges, even if we take a shorter revenue in the short term. That's that long-term value and success that we build.
Yeah. I mean, especially in Hawaii, you want to make sure that there's such a small community. And so like if you do bad business, like word gets around. So there are people in our industry who have a bad reputation. And the thing also that I found though is like, so a lot of people don't want to work with them. But then if they provide opportunities and people are willing to overlook like the shortcomings of like the bad business to just work with them. But if they have two equal opportunities, one with like that does business badly and one does business well, they're going to choose the person that does business well.
That's what we would hope, right? But I don't think people talk enough. I know from my experience, so my dad did some bad deals with some people. Okay. And everyone seems to know that those guys were bad dudes to do business with. Yeah, my dad went into them and did business, lost a whole bunch of money. I learned from those experiences saying, he came up with one saying, he's like, you know what? I've never met a crook I didn't like.
That's a great.
I never met a crook I didn't like. Tag that.
That's a really good point. I feel like a lot of people they're very personable, right? So they'll draw you in, but then maybe behind the scenes or something, there are some challenges or something where they're not as honest as you would like them to be.
Yeah, and they're shooting stars. Like shooting stars, they burn bright, but they burn out. Like you and myself, I want to be a comet. We're consistent and we're burning bright. I see a lot of guys in the real estate game coming through, especially in 2020. We're all at home, and I look at the different coaches, right? The people who are online. I'm not gonna drop names right now.
Okay.
But they do have a following, and they connect with a certain avatar, a certain demographic. I'm a female local girl, or I'm a local brother who's kind of from the beach. Come invest with me, or come invest with me. And you see this. And my bullshit meter is going crazy. It's just like, I've seen this before because I lived through the whole mortgage thing. Well, it's the same thing, man.
Tell me about this. Like, how can you tell what is BS and what is not?
I use a couple tools. And anyone listening, reading, I challenge you to use these tools.
Okay.
One of them is opencorporates.com.
Okay, opencorporates.com. Okay.
You can link that up. And that's where you can search either a company name or a person's name. And it does a global search. You can see what companies, what nonprofits are these people tied to? Is the name that they're promoting the actual company, or do they have a couple shell companies? What are they into? Or some closed? And you can just double click, dive deeper. Or you could search.
Is it like a paid or is this free?
Oh, it's free.
Okay.
But I suggest create a burner Gmail account, right? One, you could just get a bunch of spam. Because you don't want everything to be tied to it. Like sometimes you just want access to that one thing. I see. You don't want it tied to whatever you're doing later.
Glass spam and crap like that.
Exactly. Okay. So opencorporates.com is a great tool. You can search the company name or an officer or person's name, and you can see everything they're tied to.
So what? I mean, let's say you do a search on somebody.
Yeah.
And then what would be like a red flag that pops up that like they'll have you cause for concern?
Well, I like to look at I'm surprised how bold people can be on Facebook or LinkedIn. Saying these things were successes. Okay. And you look at a company, say, there's this guy who did a deal with my dad in Belize. Okay. And he said, I'm so successful. He did these things. And you look at the company and you can say, okay, I'm going to look up that company. And now I'm going to look up your name. Now I'm going to go to Ikokua Court. in Hawaii specifically. I'm going to look up your name.
Okay. Ikokua, what is that?
Yeah, you can look up court records. It gives you like driving records. You can look up by license plate, like who owns that car, what vehicle, what traffic infractions, or what lawsuits.
Okay.
So you can see with
who's involved in what lawsuits.
Who's involved in what lawsuit? Who did they win? You can double click into that, and you can see the court case, and you can see all the notes. Take those notes.
Okay.
Drop that into ChatGPT. See if it makes sense to what he's saying. Because they'll say that this was great and I did all these things. We're like, bro, all your investors sued you and you lost.
Wow.
How the heck are you still out here so bold? Yeah. Anyway, you take that.
Okay.
That's one tool.
I mean, that's really helpful. I think a lot of times, especially in our space, it's hard to distinguish where is like the people who you can trust and people who you can't, because everybody on social media looks like a rock star, because we only put out the stuff that benefits us. And I know for myself personally, like people think I'm more successful than I actually am, but just through the power of social media, but I think that's for like a lot of people, where as long as you're posting consistently, like you're going to present like a better image than what is actually happening behind the scenes.
Absolutely correct. I think you cracked the code too. Like I like your work. I like how you're honest, and you came and joined Entrepreneurs Organization. Mm-hmm. It gains a certain trust. Like even this setting here is very comfortable. You invite me on to speak, and I want to hear from you too. Like I'm going to flip some of the questions around.
Sure, yeah.
But it's a certain way that you've connected, and other people can really connect. And that's that common bond, right? So they may, like you said, overlook certain things, like, oh, but I like the guy, or I like the girl, and I trust them. They have a similar story to me, Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, but it's all smoke and mirrors.
Ah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So, sorry, we got a little sidetracked up here, but it's okay. So you guys have like your team doing some prompts for some emails. What else do you have your team use AI for?
So there's a couple of different AIs my team uses, and I'll give you the reasons why they use certain ones. Okay. ChatGPT, day-to-day communications, day-to-day tasks or searching and looking things up, and basic image generation. So let's say we're doing a sign on a wall and someone needs an idea. We'll take a photo of the storefront from Google Images or Google Street View, and we'll put it up and we'll give it the prompt. We want a metal-looking sign with a halo-lit lettering that is, the size of the doorway. Boom, give me 5 variations. Gives an idea. Now, that's not the final product. Yeah. But boy, does it help us paint a picture.
One thing I think is really helpful, or to frame how you use ChatGPT, is because we're talking about how it makes so many mistakes, but it's a good like starter prompt. I think it just kind of gets you like the brain working and like giving you ideas. You still have to take it to completion, because ChatGPT is not smart enough to take it all the way to the end. A lot of times, sometimes it is. Yeah. But then like if you think of it as like it's this magic thing that's gonna just solve your problem, you're in for a world of hurt. But if you're gonna say, hey, here's like another resource that I can use to generate ideas or help me think through things as like an assistant, I think that's where it's really valuable.
That is great. Your AI assistant. I like to call it the human in the loop. Right? You heard that? Human in the loop?
No, I haven't heard that before.
So on these workflows where either you're coding or you're in a business, you're going to take that AI. If you just copy and paste what they gave you, you're not going to get the best result. All of us nowadays who use AI enough say, okay, you just copy it and paste it, because it says, let's delve into the whatever. That word delve, no one says delve. But if you take that and you have a human in the loop to continue probing and prompting and be specific, that's going to help you get that result. So there's 3 AIs we like to use. One is ChatGPT for your everyday type of tasks. The next one is Gemini if you're looking to do some deeper research. They're really good on that. And then I like to use Claude. Claude is if we're putting structured data. You want to put a spreadsheet together. You want to create a usable, they call it artifact. Let's basically say you're going to create a mini website or an app. You can do that through a prompt in Claude.
Oh, interesting.
Have you heard
of that?
Can
you give me an example of how you like an actual example?
Yeah, I train my kids on this. My 2 daughters. Sophie is 7. She goes to Punahou, and Sasha is 5, and she goes to Midpack. They have never had iPads in their life. They like to watch TV at home, but we never gave them devices. Now they're going to school and they're using devices. I said, man, they got to learn how to use these. And if AI is going to be integrated in everything, they need to know some guidelines. So I said, Sophie, we're going to use AI to make a fun tool, a name generator tool. So we write into Claude, say, I want to make a name generator tool that takes your first and last name and adds a color. And that color has a certain personality trait. Then we're going to take your birthday and take the zodiac symbol of what your trait would be. Then you click generate name, and it's going to generate you a name right from there. Then say, I want the the month to be a drop-down menu. I want the zodiac to be buttons. So you can be specific, and it'll make it, bam, right there for you. All in Claude. Right on your interface. And you can publish it and share the link so anyone can use it, or you can keep it private.
Oh, interesting.
If you haven't used it, you should use it.
What about, what about in, let's say, in the workplace? Like, how would you actually use an example, like, in your team, or, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Besides the 5 and 7 year olds?
Yeah. So what I do, and I use this with, JPEG Media, our out-of-home advertising business.
Okay.
Basically think billboard-style advertising in Hawaii. It's not on the roadside. We're in the malls. We're in all Alohas and Heles.
We don't allow billboards.
No.
But then there's ways where you can kind of have like a semi-billboard depending on where you are. Like, can you explain to me like how that works? Like, that's really interesting to me.
Yeah, you cannot have any roadside billboards because we're protecting the beautiful scenery.
Got it.
I got to thank the Sierra Club and the Outdoor Circle for helping this. I think it's 1927. I could be wrong. Please fact check me and cut this out if I'm wrong. But yeah, there were roadside billboards here in Hawaii. Yeah, right along the highways.
Okay.
Along the roads. But they're outlawed because we have beautiful scenery here.
Got it.
We don't need a bunch of ads.
Sure.
But in the malls, we've all seen the malls, mall ads. So we do those.
You know, one of the things I think is very underrated is mall ads, because like it's our version of billboards where there's no billboards. So the fact that you do have your own billboard in the mall, it's almost like it's like 10x because there's so few of them. So the one that do exist, like they stand out more. You know, I think like that's a real source of like marketing that people are not like utilizing that could be really powerful.
Yeah, I think it is definitely undervalued attention. Mm-hmm. It's underrated on a lot of times, but the ones who do use it and use it effectively become household names.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people don't even know you could buy that ad in Coca Marina or Hawaii Kai Town Center or in Kahala Mall. They just see it up for UHA or a realtor. Yeah. Say, I know that realtor's name. I'm not going to mention their names, but you know their names.
Yeah.
You totally know it.
That's in our industry, there's a lot of realtors who use that really effectively, I think. And it's like another form of just like everyday people walking through the area, people who are like, and it's specific to that area. So like, you know that your audience is people who are actually in the area, right? Yeah. But it's just like, it makes them a household name. So like they become like Insta famous, or they're kind of like billboard famous at that point. You know?
Yeah, we call them neighborhood celebrities. Okay. They're local celebrities, right? Yeah. Like Tupac, Mr. Local Celebrity. So if you get that, let's just say the spot is going to cost you $500 a month.
Okay.
$6,000 a year. If there's a realtor and you sell a home, let's say you sell $1 million home, the average home in Hawaii, what would a commission like that be?
25, 30 grand, right?
Now, did that give you a return on your investment?
Yeah, definitely.
If you sell one property, let's say you sold 3.
Yeah, I mean, the ROI there is like 10x.
Yeah, so it really, it matters. What is the value? What is the price point? What are you selling? Or what are you trying to get across?
Yeah.
So that's one thing we do when making people a household name. They say the best known is the most used. The best known is the most used. A lot of the realtors have this, urgent cares, insurance companies. There's many different services that use it. But tying this all back into what we're doing with is billboards are illegal in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I'm stoked on that because we have different partnerships through all Aloha Gas, Hele Gas, hotels, the Alohilani, Kahala Resort. So we're reaching different audiences, and it's an exclusive audience. So if you want to advertise, you can call JPEG Media. We control that space.
Wow. So like if we want to advertise something, you guys can get us into like the brands. And are we putting it like on would our ads be, or where would we be to advertise?
So in all the hotels, you're being right in the lobby with big, beautiful digital screens right in the common area. You can't avoid it. It's not stuck in a page. It's not on a visitor TV channel where you can miss. It's right in your face. You can't turn it off. And it enhances the guest experience. It's not like a billboard to be spammy and buy my car. No, it's classy, and right, you have to get approvals. Like, we're gonna approve it or not.
So we can't just like put our friends like face that we don't like.
I know you could maybe if you frame it in a certain way. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do, but it can't be offensive to the audience, right? We're here to bring value to the property and to the guest experience. But yes, we can launch a campaign statewide. Do you guys on all major islands?
I know your car has like your guys' media on top of it, which I think is very clever.
Yeah.
Do you guys put things on cars as well too?
Yeah, absolutely. We wrap cars. Now, we're not doing color change wraps for car enthusiasts. So your Lambo outside, we wouldn't wrap that. Okay. I would say go to Zero Graphics, go to Shane. Shane, he might have done that. But go to him. They're good at that, like car enthusiast personal cars.
Sure.
We're doing fleets. So if you see any Sunrun vans, there's 25 of those. We wrap those. Okay. The McDonald's trailers, Kualoa Ranch vehicles, Polynesian Culture Center buses on Roberts Hawaii. We wrap those. That's a one-time charge because we're wrapping it for them. But we do have a media product where you can wrap our airport shuttles going to the airport, traveling the major highways into Waikiki and all the resorts, and going back to the airport 24/7. And you could buy ads on those.
Because those guys are just driving around all day, and so it's like a driving billboard basically. So it's not a true billboard, but at the same time, getting the same effect where there's thousands of people who are seeing this thing that's on the road every single day.
So Hawaii has one of the worst traffic problems in the nation.
Yes.
You know, if we get on the H1, we should call that H1, H2 parking lot. Yeah, it's too much. So roughly a vehicle, you're going to get about 750,000 impressions a month.
Okay.
So think of that.
From a vehicle, just like driving
from
around.
a vehicle driving around, because you look around you, there's thousands of vehicles on the road every day. We all love our vehicles. One person in the car. If you think of that, I love to say, take a bird's eye view and look down at the roads. Does it remind you of anything? It reminds you of a social media feed. You're just scrolling up and down. And this is just people and consumers, but you have a vehicle with an ad on that. That's an ad in your feed. And you can't avoid it. You can't flip it off. You're not supposed to be on your phone. Maybe you are. You can take a picture of it. You can Google it. But what we've done with JPEG Media is we're weaving our way through the customer's daily journey.
Interesting.
We're not stopping your ad. We're not stopping your scroll or interrupting you for this podcast message, right?
Yeah.
No, we're weaving our way through. So we become a familiar name, whether you're in the shopping centers, the malls.
So you guys do like shopping centers and malls as well too?
Yeah, shopping centers, malls,
hotels,
cars, gas stations, convenience stores, and vehicles.
In gas stations, where is it like on the outside, the inside, or where is it on the gas station?
Yeah, so if you're going through Aloha Gas, we've got pump tops. It's the sign that sits above.
Okay, I see what you're talking
Why
about.
do all gas stations have these signs above the pump? Because they work. They drive sales in store. You want that Pepsi or that Spam Musubi, or sign up for the rewards loyalty program, or save 5 cents per gallon or 25 cents. These work. So that's a media product.
Okay.
But also in the convenience stores, we've built a digital screen network, like these screens.
Okay.
And they're all connected.
Inside the convenience stores.
Yeah, right above the coolers is the busiest area, like right above where the energy drinks are and then the alcohol. It's right through the chip aisle. And if you look at the pathway, statistically, that is the busiest path in the stores, in all convenience stores. It's very much the same. Look at the layout. You know where you're going. You're getting salty snacks.
This is really interesting because, I mean, for our space, we've done mostly digital marketing. So we haven't done a whole lot of like boots on the ground marketing.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize like all these opportunities that were available. I just kind of took them for granted. But I feel like maybe for even our business or some of our sister companies, like this is like an untapped resource that maybe we're actually like, we might have to have another conversation between us after this. But it's really, really interesting.
Yeah. So here's what we did with Redfin. You know Redfin?
Yeah, Redfin. Yeah.
Everybody knows Redfin. But something that, so I was talking to the director out here, Alan.
Okay.
He came to my office. We do direct mail pieces. So we'll print, 10,000 postcards and we'll do direct mail to a mailing list of specific homes.
Okay.
What they wanted to do, they wanted to target people who had a VA loan for over 1 year and lived in their houses. So we had a mailing list. He wanted to reach those people because in 2 to 3 years, they're going to be deployed.
Sure.
But they got the money, right, from the VA.
Got it.
So they say homeowners. They wanted to target them. So they got that list. You guys can all get this list from the MLS. If you're a realtor, it's free. They can give it to you. So we took those. We uploaded it into our map because we've got a map tool on jpegmedia.com. You can go to the map tool. We upload the CSV file, the spreadsheet with all of those addresses.
Okay.
And it drops a pin on each map.
Okay.
Perfect. So what did we do from there? We turned on our different layers of our advertising locations and see what radius are you in. Each of our convenience stores and our grocery stores, because we're in all the Times and Don Quixotes as well, totally saturate those markets.
Oh, interesting.
And then we overlaid, okay, what you're going to do, Redfin, what is your goal? Our goal is to let people know that we have local people working here and we are local experts.
So you're having like one message, but you're like omnipresent across all these different channels.
Yeah, you can have one message. You can have multiple messages. They chose to say that they're really pushing their 1% product, right?
Okay.
And then it has an asterisk where it's not really 1% unless you meet these criteria, but it's a good hook, right?
Yeah.
It's that clickbait.
Yeah.
It got people to search. So people became aware. He said, I have this much budget. And I can get into how we use Claude for this too, because we learned from Redfin exactly what is their goal. They wanted brand recognition and they wanted awareness across the state.
So how did you guys plug Claude into this?
I'll get to that in a second. Okay. After we dropped in the pins on the map that shows the homes, it was 4,000 homes.
Okay.
Then we layered on our Aloha gas stations and our Hele gas stations and our Times supermarkets and our Coco Marina and Hawaii Kai Town Center. We layered on all the advertising venues that we represent. From there, we selected their budget and we took the prices of everything. Say, how far can we stretch this budget? They did a 90-day campaign. From there, we stretched it all across those different venues. And guess what? People started calling. People said, I'm coming to your venue. They had some brick and mortar locations they go to too. So they're saying, oh, I seen the ads. I seen this. I was considering this. I was thinking of this. So it gives a trust. You know them, you like them, and trust them. Yeah. Then they will consider to use you.
Well, the thing too is like by being in, whenever you have print media, it's more legit, I feel, than like, let's say like a Instagram post or something along those lines. It's like just print media in general lends more to authenticity or credibility just because you can physically touch it. So somebody had to pay for the spot, somebody had to like install it or like actually like work with a vendor like yourself. It just makes it more legit.
Absolutely. If you're on a property, if you're in Times Supermarket or Coco Marina or all the Alohas and Heles, you're getting endorsed. They could say like it's a perceived endorsement. You have to have permission to be on that property. So when you're in the real world, it feels real because I see that there. And the portfolio, these are hundreds of millions of dollars of real estate they're sitting on. So to have access to those venues, it says something. You can't just be buying an ad. You do need approvals, and we filter those approvals. Okay, Claude, you want to step on Claude?
Please.
What I just said is it's a workflow. It's a process of how we identify what the media campaign and the planning would look like. So I took those same parameters. I took all of our CSV file, a spreadsheet of our map of all the venues, and then all the impression counts and the monthly pricing and all the specs about it. And I said, Claude, make me a media planning tool with what I've uploaded and give me 5 different reasons someone would want to advertise. Is it to drive foot traffic into their venue? Is it to make online sales? Is it to drive downloads? Is it brand awareness? Or is it market saturation? So they can go down. And I created this tool. So first they say, my goal, market saturation. Next, what is your budget? Next, what are some points of interest you like? I want Waikiki Beach. I want Kahala area. I want Duke Statue. I want the Pali Lookout, whatever you want to write, points of interest. Let's just say if you're Jiffy Lube, you want to target your competitor. You can put that as a point of interest. It's called conquesting. So you can conquest, then you put your budget, and then you put your term, your duration, how long of time do you want to be there, click it. And then it gives you suggestions and why. You should get the vehicles because it's going to travel up and down these routes. You should be in Alohas and Heles because if you're selling a lubrication type of product, these people have vehicles. If you're in the grocery stores, you're going to meet the people who are head of household or making decisions.
This is like, it has all your information already. And like, so you're like, as a client, like you're putting their information into like your system, which you built with Claude, and then Claude's putting out these things on basically like doing a consultation for your client with like the AI stuff.
Yeah, it's actually absolutely. It's a start of a media plan, and it's a media plan optimizer tool based on their budget and their goal. It's going to break down and give them what it would take me a while to do, and I know it, and my team knows what we could say. But using this tool, it gives you a plan at a starting point, like you said.
That's amazing. I think this can be applicable for like a lot of companies, whether it's like to practice with working with clients or actual clients to come in and just say, here's like a game plan we can create for you using like our services and the tools that we have at our disposal.
I love the way you think. Just exactly how I said it. You could transcribe this audio and say, I want to make a similar tool for my industry, say real estate. You have people who have certain budgets and certain areas they want to live and their plans for children or not. It'll spit out
the thing too is like every business is always in sales, right? You're always selling either like a service or a product or something along those lines. And the lifeblood of I think of a great business is having like a great sales pipeline or salespeople or a process. And so like even within our industry, like there's like, let's say we're trying to like either buy a house or sell a house. You get 10 guys. One guy will buy like 3 houses. One guy will buy like none. And like there's a big difference, and it's just like the skill level of the person. But I think using AI to this to kind of like analyze what you're doing, your offer, a lot of those things, it'll help you to really optimize your business to be like the most efficient or the most profitable in these kinds of situations.
I want to flip this on you.
Sure.
You're successful in real estate. How do you use AI at all in your workflows or business?
So in the same way I use it like as a business coach. So I like, hey, I create a GPT. Hey, I put a little bit Alex Hormozy, a little Brian Pineda, a little bit Trevor Mock, all these guys. Like, hey, here's the principles that I find valuable. And then like I talk to it daily. Like, hey, like I'm like, but I kind of use it as like, it's kind of like a psychic, I don't know, like a psychologist too for me. I'm like, hey, I'm feeling lazy today and I gotta get through my day. What do you think I should do? And it's like, hey, you should like exercise for 10 minutes, or you should do this, or ask yourself these questions, like what are the most valuable tasks that you need to get done today, and how can you get this? So it kind of helps me process things like really well. So just as like assistant or like a business coach, I'll just ask it questions and think through these things.
Are you talking to it and it's talking back? Are you using the voice mode, or are you how are you communicating with it? I do both.
Like sometimes it's voice mode, sometimes it's on the web. It just really depends. But like the voice mode, like is actually having a conversation.
Yes.
Whenever I can choose, I typically use that one. The only thing is, a lot of times it's just like less efficient because I'm thinking, or it's just like whatever the other kind of things is doing.
I like to drive using that.
Yeah.
Just when I'm driving,
I actually have a shortcut on my phone, like, cause I click a button and then like it pops up with the voice mode.
Nice.
So it's just like click, okay, talk to my assistant, right? And you can have it to do stuff for you.
Have you used Notebook LM at all? Google's Notebook LM?
No, I haven't.
Bro, you have not used Notebook LM.
What is that?
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Where do I start? So take the context of your coach, your psychiatrist, psychologist, and best friend.
Okay.
Ask them, create me a sheet that I'm going to upload into Notebook LM. Give me all the points of what we've talked about, seed it with information, and for instance, say this. I want this to be a guiding core that I can come back to that reminds me of where I'm going and is my North Star. So let's call this my North Star document.
Okay.
It's going to know what to do.
Okay.
It downloads that. You can save that as a Google Doc.
Okay.
Then you go to Notebook LM. So Google, I think it's Notebook LM. Just Google that.
Okay.
You can add sources, whether it's YouTube videos, PDF files, or your Google Docs. Drop that Google Doc in and go to your third tab over and say you wanted to do the audio overview. It's going to generate a podcast with 2 speakers on there. They're going to take all that context and remind you of, it's going to say, so Daniel uploaded his North Star document. This North Star document went and said his 10-year goals and how he's going to get there. Now, Daniel's very smart. He's going to go into it and talk to you, right? You should try it. If you haven't, it creates your own podcast about the document that you did.
I'm going to have to look into this after.
So that's one part. I also use that for deep research. Say, I want to learn about real estate in Hawaii and being the top broker and how I can structure creative deals.
Okay.
You say that, it's going to look up sources for you, and it's going to turn it into a back and forth conversation podcast with a guy and a girl.
Wow,
they're going to talk about it. It's
so
unreal.
Basically, like you're in the shower, you're driving, you create this thing. So like it's like you're learning what you want to use
in a conversation mode with 2 other people talking. You get to be the audience. Right? So you could put a PDF document you got.
Notebook LM is what it's called.
Notebook LM by Google.
This is really interesting. Another thing I think is like when you're looking for information online, whether it's YouTube or these other things, there's sometimes when you're just looking for like entertainment, like, you know, you just want to like entertain yourself. There's other times when you're actually looking for information and you want to learn something. But I think like it's like the most valuable ones is when you're trying to learn something that's applicable to you right now. Because a lot of times you want to learn something, but you're not actually going to use it, or it's not like actually going to implement it right away. But whenever it's something that you either have to like share, teach, or implement, it resonates differently. So I think like doing something like this where I'm trying to research this topic, but I gotta like, there's no podcast or book about this specific thing. I can create like my own podcast or my own like YouTube video on like, hey, this is the things I want to learn. Create me a podcast for this, and then now I can like do like a just-in-time learning for like whatever it is I'm trying to like accomplish.
Wow, 100%. You just said it. And keep in mind, everything that's generated, always put your filter on. Like nothing is always perfect, right? Let's just put that caveat there. But yeah, it's going to help you learn in the way you want to learn. You can put together your own learning modules, whether you read it better or you like audio. I like audio.
I like audio too.
Yeah, I get a passively listen while I'm doing dishes at 9 a.m. 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's one way we use AI. And I think if you're not using Notebook LM or Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT, they all have their uses. And use them wisely because they're powerful.
Let's keep going through this. Any other ways that you guys are using AI to power your business?
Yeah.
Give me all the hacks. I'm just selfishly asking for our own business. You know, like we're because AI is such a powerful tool that I feel like it's so untapped. and like guys like yourself are kind of pushing like the envelope and like using it inside the business regularly, you're going to kind of come up with use cases that other people maybe never even thought of. So just like seeing the way, because like I just find this really interesting just for me personally and selfishly for my own business,
Be selfish. And you're going to see it. If you look me up online, if you look up Jean-Paul Gedeon, that's my name, you'll find certain things. Okay. You'll find a certain profile. And I don't have a large audience amongst any platform.
Okay.
And I don't really post about these tools that I'm speaking of right now, mainly because I like to be in the background. I don't think people will see I'm pushing JPEG media a lot. I've been building just on my own with my team, going through in stealth mode until I feel it was time to go. But all the while, we're populating with advertisers. We're building JPEG. We're doing a lot of these things that you've seen. So if you've been to the Made in Hawaii Festival, we work with the Hawaii Food Industry Association, do all the printing, the large signs and banners at the convention center.
So those are you guys.
A lot of stuff behind the scenes. Like you don't see our name on it, and that's cool. And part of that is by choice. But as I'm seeing now, building a media platform is so important. I love what you're doing. Like, so I wanted to talk to you. I love what Gary Vee does. I was able to speak to him through EO, an EO event.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we have a pathway forward, and we've always built organically.
Sure.
And we've built in the real world. All of our stuff is physical printed signs, digital screens, ads on properties, right?
Yeah.
But as we see the influence growing and the halo effect that comes from having a podcast or having a very popular website with business resources, that's where we're coming at it now. So I'm using AI to create different business resources from all of the case studies that we have from work we've done and create case stories about that to educate. Here's what Made in Hawaii Festival did. Here's what the Honolulu Marathon did for the last 5 years we've done for them. Here's a lot of the things that other people have done, and here's how you could do it too. And we're taking all of that instruction in a way where we have a template to take our past work and create these learning case stories and learning modules like packets, right? Little hacks and one-pagers.
It's kind of like you're using AI to like supercharge like your process of like coming up with ideas, right? And I think like a lot of times you could like hire a firm to kind of like business coaches and things to kind of help you work through these things. But AI is like a tool where like it's way smarter than like a whole lot of other people.
Right.
And then it kind of helps you can like work through it, work with it to kind of generate these use cases that might take like, let's say weeks, or you can do like in an hour or something.
So you were at the EO Accelerator.
Yeah.
When we're talking, I think the day was called Cash something.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was Optimize Your Cash.
Yeah.
What I learned from that event was with Bill Gallagher and Entrepreneurs Organization was the cash flow or the cash conversion cycle.
Yeah.
And I knew the thing. I didn't know it was a word, honestly.
Yeah.
Cash conversion cycle. So I took my financials and I put that in there and I asked, see vulnerabilities. Where are we good? Where do we stack up against the industry? And what levers can I pull to optimize certain things?
So just to give some backstory, we had like a workshop together with, we're both part of the Entrepreneurs Organization for like business owners. Specifically, we're in like the Hawaii chapter. And then we had a guest speaker who was talking about how to use AI in your business to optimize like your whole entire business, like cash flow structure, right? So there's ways you can either get like paid like sooner, or you can like hold off on payments, or you can like sell more volume, get your prices up. There's all different levers you can pull to be more profitable. And we use AI to we basically give it all of our data, like your QuickBooks, your profit and loss statements, your balance sheets, and say, hey, help me analyze this from a business standpoint or like an expert and give me some feedback. So that's what we did together in the workshop.
Absolutely. That was a great case to use for AI. Mm-hmm. I didn't think of doing that. I've said, look at my financials as you can be my CFO and guide. But the specific things he said, that what lever can I pull, and then you do the next prompt, and the next prompt you dig deeper and deeper and deeper. If people aren't using these tools, it's like people who didn't use social media early. They're missing out, and then it gets crowded. Or you didn't use the internet, or you didn't list your business on Google Places or Yelp for whatever hesitation. You lose ground.
It's the golden age right now of AI. And so this happens, I think, in like so many businesses. Like when Google My Business was like just like starting out, like when you listen to it, when you list it over there, like you dominate the whole market because nobody else is doing it, right? Like let's say you advertise on pay-per-click on Google or SEO in the very beginning, like there was such a not crowded marketplace, but then if you did it, you stood out. So right now there's businesses around like the world, or in Hawaii specifically, that are not, like 90% are not using AI. But there's that 10% who are. You're getting like a huge benefit or boost because it's so powerful in what it can do for you.
Absolutely. And I'm not even using it to its fullest ability. I feel like I'm slacking. Like everything I just spit game on that, I feel like I am so slow.
But the thing is that you have to constantly put in the reps, right? And you have to like really invest time and energy into it, because it can be frustrating and it can be overwhelming. There's like so many things it feels like you need to learn. But then when you do invest in it and you see the return, it's been really, really powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How are you using it for real estate specifically? Can you shed some light? I mean, you talked a little bit about it, but in the business context specifically.
Yeah. One of the things we do is like QuickBooks is excellent, but it can't break down like your life cycle of like your builds or like your construction like really well. It just doesn't have the capability to do that. So we'll take the raw data from QuickBooks, put it into the AI GPT that we built, and it spits it out like into like very detailed like the breakdown of like how much you're spending here, timelines, different things. So you have a very accurate picture of like what your projects look like, where you're overspending, where you're underspending, where there's like there's disconnects between like the times or whatever things. And so it's a very good tool to like give you like information, and then now you can, because you always have the information, you can just never process it correctly. But then AI helps you to take the information from QuickBooks, put it into formats where you can actually process it like mentally, and then you can make better decisions moving forward.
Do you have a one-page spreadsheet document as your property analyzer? A lot of people give these away.
I have a lot of versions of them. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And have you used that where you take that information and back and forth with AI?
I've never done that. I mean, I haven't done that. I haven't done that yet.
Do you think that'd be useful to find a property tour? Or is that like one page good enough for you?
I'm just thinking it's so simple. Like the big thing that AI could eventually help with, I don't know if it's there yet or not, is analyzing property values. Because like right now, that's a very manual process. You have to pull comps, so you have to like kind of look through like Zillow. If I could just give AI an address, because then I'm trying, like the spreadsheet is very simple. There's like the price you're gonna sell it for. There's a renovation and your timeline, right? Those are three things, and then the rest is just like basic math, like X multiples. But the thing is, like, if you don't get the ARV, they call it, the after repair value wrong, that screws up your whole thing, or your renovation wrong. That's where you guys get tripped up. So if I could give like a AI, like a tool, like, hey, find me the value of this thing fixed up or in as is condition, what could I sell it for? That would be really helpful, I think.
Can you break down your business? I know I'm trying to switch it up.
No, sure. I mean,
I don't actually know.
We buy houses. We renovate them. We sell them for a profit. Like,
so WeBuyHouses.com.
We Buy Houses Hawaii.
WeBuyHousesHawaii.com.
Yeah.
So how do people get in touch with you? Do they fill out a form that qualifies them? Or?
Yeah, they do. We have a website, right? So we run some ads on a website, and we also have some like referrals. People refer us, like a realtor is like, hey, I have this property, but like they don't want to go to market for whatever reason. They want a cash offer. Would you guys be able to give us a cash offer? And so we just buy houses that make sense for us. We renovate them and then sell it for a profit.
So what does your team look like? It's like you have a contractor, electrician, like, or
we have like GCs that oversee like the projects. Like our team internally, we have like someone who helps with the acquisitions. We have like 3 bookkeepers, because there's like a lot of like bookkeeping and stuff. Some admin. We have like a TC. We have like
what is a TC?
A transaction coordinator.
Cool.
Yeah. And then we have like an in-house like project manager that oversees like the GCs and things as well too.
Yeah. So do you guys buy them yourself, or you have lenders, or do you have like individual lenders and a pool? Like how does that all work?
We use some like commercial lenders and some private lenders. It just depending on the deal and who's like available. We used to have like a waiting list for our lenders, just because we offer a pretty good return. But then let's say we're gonna buy a house for like $1 million, right? Well, sometimes we'll just like, okay, we can get like 10 guys at 100,000, 1 guy 500, or 3 guys at whatever 350, whatever it is. So we pull the money, we do the renovation, we sell it, and then we sell it for a profit.
Oh, I'm asking. So people that do what you do, like in your industry, it's pretty unique. Maybe it's been around for a while, but to me, it's a little more new, right? Maybe the last 5 or 7 years. I've seen it become more popular online.
Social media, right? Yeah.
Social media. I should have said that. Yeah, I see it more popular on social media, so it's a lot more people know about it.
Sure.
And we've done some printing and things for different guys, like Max Gaines. He's got we do brochures for him. I'm like, oh right, see.
Oh, so you guys do for Max Gaines, yeah?
Yeah, different things. And so I'll look at the trifold. I'm like, oh, it's pretty interesting. 12 to 15% return. And I'm like, can you write that? Can you? So what do you? How do you guys pitch it?
You're not supposed to be writing the interests. So like technically, you're not allowed to like advertise like the actual interest rates. So like, but people do it, and like they're small enough where like you're not gonna get in quote unquote trouble. We actually have our own fund, so it's a 506c fund, so we can actually advertise because we have to file it with like the SEC and all these other things. So like our fund is we can legally advertise with it, but typically investors are not supposed to be advertising the interest rates on it. Typically, you're not supposed to, but I mean, like, who's going to, like, turn them in or whatever?
Right. I got a question. I see only a few, and maybe I have, like, a curated feed that just feeds me inspirational business quotes all day and food. Like, that's what my feed looks like, right? So I'll see I don't see many people anymore, but I'll see Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Local dude.
Yeah.
I'll see Zasha, Invest with Zasha.
Yeah.
I see Max Gaines, a lot of Big Island stuff.
Yeah.
Does events with the heavy machinery. I'm like, that's super interesting.
I mean, like, they're all friends of ours, you know, and so, like, everybody is successful to a certain point, I think. So none of those guys are, like, faking what they're doing. But then, like, ourselves included, we always look bigger on social media than in real life. And that's just a fact. And so it's just how much you choose to share on social media, how much you choose to divulge, or let's say, like I guess, put yourself out there.
Yeah,
it'll be like different varies, and depending on how many of because everybody has wins and losses, right? In this world, there's people who we've made a lot of money in a lot of deals, we've lost money in some deals, but very rarely do we ever talk about the deals that we've lost money on. And so just everybody has like different track record, whether it's wins and losses, and it's really up to them whether or not they want to share all their wins, none of their losses, all their losses, some of their wins, like that ratio that you're gonna be giving, right?
That's good to share losses too.
It is. I mean, like that. It's very humbling, but I mean, it happens to everybody. You know.
I think we're gonna relate to that. I would say, you know, personally, if someone's sharing some things, because usually we could start with the origin story where humble beginnings, and I think a lot of people in Hawaii got those humble beginnings, and then the underdog story. We all love the underdog story, and then to a certain point, like when you rise, the story needs to fall. Because there's no constant rise, right? There needs to be
some drama inside, right? It can't just be like it can't just be straight up. Because we all know life is not straight up. There's always dips and valleys throughout it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I like this part. Do you know all these people?
Yeah, I know them all personally.
And then, so I see Ryan Panetta. I even follow him. You did a podcast with him.
Yeah.
I think Zasha did with him. Is that because you guys were a part of a mastermind, or?
So I joined Ryan's mastermind, and I actually pay him a lot of money to get coached by him. I actually pay this guy like $100,000 a year for one-on-one coaching.
How many people does he have? Like, that's his business now?
So the education? He does a lot of things. He does the education for investors. He does his own like flipping and wholesaling. He has like some other he just started like a golf mastermind. He said he has like a lead generation company, like a digital leads. And so he kind of has his hand in like a lot of pieces. But one thing is he's always like in the forefront, I think, in business. And so I'm just a really smart guy, and like we align on values. He's a Christian, like I'm a Christian, you know. And sometimes navigating the world of like money and like business and finances with like Christianity and faith, it's a tricky road to navigate, right? Because like sometimes they can be opposing with each other, you know. Not always, but in sometimes. And so just like because I align with his values and the way he's going and the way that I see he's always in the forefront of things, that's why I like having like I pay for like the coaching.
That's dope. Yeah. Do you also follow like Gary V, Alex Hormozi, Cody Sanchez?
I love Alex Hormozi, Cody Sanchez. Gary V, like I only listen to like a little bit of his stuff, but I mean like Alex Hormozi, like literally every morning, I'm like on the treadmill. I'm just listening to Alex Hormozi.
What about Layla Hormozi too?
No, both of them, like both excellent.
Super excellent.
Alex is like the big thinker. Layla is the operator, right? Like that.
Yes.
But like, I mean, like I probably listened to hundreds of hours of like their stuff, read all their books and everything. You know, so they're excellent inspirations. I
think I could see that coming through too. Like we can all see our influences, right? If you kind of like watch enough videos, and that's dope. I think. Personally, I connect with that because I'm looking at the same people who are up here and we're trying to learn, right? To get to the next level too. So staying curious and like curiosity brings commonality. Yeah. So that's a couple things I recognize in you.
We're all on the same journey together. I think like entrepreneurship is hard. Like being a business owner is very hard. And a lot of times I think I guess in the past, there was no instruction or there's no roadmap to get to where you want to get to. But then now with social media and this content being so available and easy to digest, guys like Hormozi or Ryan Panetta have made it where it's just so digestible. Like, you know, like they give you like bite-sized chunks, like 30 seconds or 2-minute, 5-minute clips. And then it's like things that are like applicable to your business, like immediately. Like this concept, I can like today I can actually apply this, or I can actually like resonate with this because it's something that's going to actually generally help my business like in this current moment.
There was something really cool that I learned. Cody Sanchez said this. So I joined a group called Hampton. Have you heard of Hampton?
No, I haven't.
So if you haven't, it's joinhampton.com.
Okay.
Have you ever watched the My First Million podcast?
No.
So there's these two guys, Sam Parr and Sean Purr. They created a a podcast called My First Million.
Okay.
And HubSpot eventually bought it.
Okay.
And then Sam started this club. It's kind of like EO, but he says like entrepreneurs organization is like New Balance shoes.
Okay.
Like we're the Nike of that.
Okay.
So like he's just make it cool. It's for like
Okay.
digitally native businesses who are entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So I joined and I was in for a couple years. It's about the same price for EO. EO is like 5,000 or something.
I think it's 10, but
10,000, whatever. It's somewhere around these numbers. It was 12,000 for Hampton. And so I went on and I was there for a couple years, and it's very similar, but it was all virtual. I like the in-person forum.
Yeah.
We had virtual forums. The same thing. But then we had really dope-ass speakers. The guys who were watching, so like Cody Sanchez, for instance, came. We were on an hour, and all of us members joined in, and she started saying that, you know, she really pushes buying boring businesses, laundromats, car washes, landscaping, plumbing, and electrical, all these businesses, right? And we were asking, like, so do you own a lot of these businesses now? She's like, oh, actually, I'm more building my media company now. Yeah. I've bought those and I learned.
She's 100% media. Like, if you look at how she came to like rise to fame, she started off by doing like very interesting companies. Yeah. And then she turned her media attention into a business. And then like the knowledge she gives is like basic knowledge. Like, you know, like she's like, there's nothing groundbreaking about it, but she's just so good at like getting like explaining it well and packaging it together and then bringing it to a large audience and getting the attention. Her skill set is not, I don't think, operating a business. It's just the media attention itself.
And I love that. That's to my next point. When people can build an audience and they build credibility in an industry and can be entertaining and enthusiastic or educational enough, right? You get that perfect blend and they understand media. Yeah. That's the power. Yeah. You have a lot of listeners, viewers, people that tune in. Do you have any coaching program? Do the coaches teach you how to be a coach as well?
I thought about launching one before. Actually, we started to launch one.
Oh, wow.
We took money to start it. Yeah. And but after I had a long session with Ryan Pineda, actually, he convinced me not to do it.
Why? What did he say?
So here's the coaching landscape kind of worked is. In the very beginning, we have like a very like loyal audience, right? So we have like, let's say 100 people who are like they'll buy anything I sell immediately, right? It's like they watch me for hours, and so like they already like they're the instant buyers, right? So like you can sell coaching programs to all those guys very quickly, and so that'll be very easy. But then like if you want to scale it, then it turns into like digital marketing because now you have to reach a cold audience. So now this is where you have to run ads, you have to have like hire salespeople, and it's this whole business in itself to like manage like the actual like salesmanship of the coaching and the infrastructure once you get to scale. But the coaching itself is very easy. Like, you know, like I could talk to like people all day about like, hey, how can I help you in your business and things. But the actual like scaling and running the business aspect of it is completely different. So because we're in real estate, we're doing like really well in real estate. We're like, do we want to add this another layer or vertical where it's going to be like this whole other thing that all the time and attention is going to be over here? What's the ROI, potential ROI here versus the ROI on our business? You know, so we looked at the different two. We kind of said like, hey, the reason why I want to go to this other vertical is because I think that I can't reach my goals where in the vertical that I'm in. But the reason I can't reach the goals where the vertical that I'm in is because I don't know how to break to this level, this like income level. But if I could just focus on this income level of my current vertical, I think actually I could do a lot better than trying to do sidetrack by the coaching business. So that's kind of like the conclusion I came to after like getting coached from Ryan. He's done it both, right? So he's done coaching and he's done real estate investing. And if you look at the landscape, there's millions of real estate investors who make $1 million plus a year. Like there's like everybody can make $1 million a year easily. There's guys that make 10 million. There's guys that make 100 million. There's like a lot of very successful real estate investors in general, just real estate, right? Yeah. I mean, in Hawaii, there's probably like 1,000 people who make $1 million easily or $1 million just in real estate investing. Coaching, there's like 5 coaches who make like 8 figures. So if you think about the complexity and the difficulty of coaching versus real estate investing, it's not that it's not doable, but what you need and the skill set and like the attention and like everything it's just a hard industry to break through. But you have like survivorship bias, right? Because you see all these guys are successful, it seemed like out of nowhere. But then if you're looking at where can you actually genuinely make more money, if you're to just stay in the real estate space, there's more opportunity there to reach higher and a higher success rate than in the coaching space. And so that's the conclusion that we came to. And so he's done both, right? He's like, coaching is way harder than like the real estate, you know, so.
And he's doing both.
Yeah.
So he gives you real
so he has
real
like
talk.
Legit data, yeah.
So it was worth the money you paid.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
He saved you years.
He said, yeah, no, I mean, like, there's so many cases where, like, he saved, like, or helped us to, like, navigate these very difficult situations. And I think like we would have gotten there probably eventually, but then like you are trying to buy time, right? So like if we could get to like whatever our income level in, let's say in 5 years, if you could get us there in 3 years, that's like super, super valuable, right? So like it's just like this, you're paying for time, and also just like and personally, I'm also paying for like a friendship, to be honest, right? Because like the resources and things that he like can offer in these different rooms, like even EO, like a lot of times like you're just paying just to be in the rooms with people, just so you can have like conversations like this.
Yeah, it's the right rooms.
Yeah,
right rooms. So what you were talking about was time, and really that comes down to focus.
Yeah,
I want to share one thing that my dad told me. And he said, because I always have a lot of ideas.
Sure.
All entrepreneurs are like, I could do this and this and this. I could use this.
I've got so many right now. I'm trying to shut down.
Yeah, just slow it down, bro. Like, so here's what he told me. He's like, your time and your attention, think of it as one jug of water.
Okay.
And you have one plant in front of you. Okay. You have a mango tree.
Okay.
Now you need to water that mango tree, and you water it enough, and over time it's going to grow, and it'll bear fruit. But if you're trying to water 2 mango trees or 3 mango trees or 4, you don't have enough water to grow them equally. They may grow, but never bear fruit because you spread yourself too thin. And the water represents your time and energy, and you are the jug.
That is a killer analogy. Yeah. That's so true. I've heard other guys give other analogies like about building bridges and things, but the water jug is so good because it's a finite resource. Like, a lot of times people think like I have like unlimited resources. I can just do as many things as I want, but you have like this much time and energy every single day, this in a year. And if you don't allocate it correctly, you're not going to get the return that you really need.
Right. You grow a tree, bears fruit, and can keep on fruiting.
Yeah.
You got a successful business energy, keep the momentum rolling and evolve with time.
100%. Going back to like, just like we're talking about like how we got to where we were. Briefly, I know we talked about it a little before. Like you said, you started off with golf balls until like now you have this multi-million-dollar marketing company. Like how did you get to like from there to where you are?
So I'm born and raised in Hawaii.
Okay.
In Hawaii Kai. I grew up in Queens Gate. It's the gated community by Sandy Beach. So it's right on the golf course. And I was about 5 years old when Nintendo came out.
Okay.
5 years old. And I got 3 brothers. So my brother Joe would be 7, Mark would be 6, I'm 5, and Brandon would be 3.5 or 4.
Okay.
Still in diapers.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nintendo came out. And everyone wanted a Nintendo. So like, Mom, we want to get a Nintendo. She's like, yeah, buy it yourself.
Wow.
We're like, what? Okay. So we were always playing on the golf course and the duck ponds where people lose their balls. We knew there was balls there.
Yeah.
So someone might have given us the idea. Maybe it was my dad or my mom. I don't know. But we started collecting those balls.
Okay.
Put them in Safeway bags, come home, use my parents' water to clean them, go right back out to the green by the intersection, where the little shopping center is by Kalama Valley, and we start selling the bags, $5 for the bag. Eventually, people said, hey, you guys should have a lemonade stand. You boys are so cute. We're like, we don't want to sell lemonade. So we went to Safeway and bought some Hawaiian Sun juice, put them in a cooler, used the cooler as our seat to hang out, $1 for the drink, $5 for the bag. People just started giving us $5 for the drinks. Like, oh, go get it, boys, young businessman, right? And that's how we got it. We got enough money to buy the Nintendo.
Wow,
and then we stopped selling golf balls. But that was the first taste of being masters of our own destiny, be able to have discipline and work together as a team to go and get what we wanted.
That's entrepreneurship at its core, just building something out of nothing and providing value or service to somebody that they're willing to exchange money, right? So like they're getting what they want, you're getting what you want, and like, everybody's happy.
Yeah, and that's been the guiding principle from all the businesses we've done. From, sometimes you see there's a demand in something, and this gets to the story of bootlegging.
Okay.
How did I really get started in the business I'm in right now? I was straight up bootlegging Volcom stickers. I learned how to print T-shirts in Kaiser High School in graphic communications. I was a junior. Then in senior year, I started really understanding it. I would print Volcom shirts for my friends. Like, oh, give me your shirt. I'll print my own design, and I put a Volcom stone. And that was cool. Then I saw, like, how come there's no Volcom stickers? I eventually bought a vinyl cutter with my friend Chad Shart, and I started making it was a 1 foot wide print cutter. So I would get a vinyl, and I could make it 1 foot wide and 2 feet tall. I'd go on eBay. I'd list it for $25, and you can choose from these 5 vinyl colors. In 2 weeks, I made $800.
Wow.
And I said, damn, this only cost me like $20 in vinyl. I'm like, I'm killing it. And then I checked my Yahoo account. I got a cease and desist from Volcom's lawyer. My eBay account was frozen. My PayPal was frozen. I'm like, crap. I called up the Volcom's lawyer and they said, hey, we know you're selling stickers because the only way you get it is by going to one of our events. Talk to our rep in Kailua. He'll get you the stickers. I call him up. I talk to him. He said, bro, why are you guys selling? Why are you doing this, right? Here's some stickers. Don't sell them. I said, man, we got to be legit. So I started my own clothing brand called Ideal. That's IDEL with a long E. So it says Ideal. IdealHawaii.com. I was selling shirts and trucker hats in Hawaii Kai to skaters and surfers, and I want to put my own art on things. My brothers worked at Roy's restaurant in Hawaii Kai, and they were having their 20th anniversary. They say, Jean-Paul, can you print us some shirts? We like your shirts that you're doing. Before that, I'd say, no, I don't want to do custom jobs for anyone. But when Roy said I need 1,400 shirts, I said, man, it's going to take me like a week to print in my kitchen because I'm printing T-shirts in my kitchen in Hawaii Kai by 7-Eleven. It was crazy. But my mom said, I was driving in Kalihi, and I left American T-Shirt Company where you buy your shirts. We know JoJo from American T-Shirt. She's an EO. She's in my forum. I was buying shirts from her. She said, I saw this short Asian lady who was just smiling at me, as my mom said. I saw her. Then I drove out, and the Lord told me to turn right and turn right again. And then I turned left into a driveway, and there was that short Asian lady. And I looked up and saw the sign, and it said, Cindy T's Custom Screen Printing and Embroidery. I called up Cindy, and my mom said, be a broker. So I became a print broker. Cindy and Brian printed those shirts at lunch.
Nice.
And I made $1 per shirt because I lowballed that deal. It was like $4 for the shirt and the print. I said, man, I just made $1,400 being a print broker. I no longer need to be around the chemicals. I no longer got to get dirty and print in my kitchen. I can just find a need.
You're a connector, right? And like they're basically that's what like most successful business guys are doing is like they're connecting the need to like the service.
Yeah.
But then for doing that, like even for us as investors, like we're connecting people who have money, right? They want to invest their money. We're connecting them to like someone who's trying to sell their house. Like we're connecting them to the money, and then like with the renovation, like the addition, like added it, we're connecting that house to like the future home buyer. So we're just connecting everything together. We're not actually doing quote unquote work. But then for like that connection, like it's basically is considered work, and that's how you actually make a good profit, just by being able to find like where are the resources that people like are looking for and what do they have to offer, and then kind of like sourcing them all together.
Yeah, it's a reason why it's called a real estate brokerage. Brokering the deal, middlemaning it up, and it comes down to your resources, your connections, and how do I connect these two parties together and get paid for that service. Yeah. It's a lot of time. You know how much time.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of time, but it's also like you're building relationships, you're finding a need, you're solving problems. There's always so many problems to solve, but you're not actually like swinging a hammer and doing those actual things, right? It's like, or writing up the contract. I mean, sometimes you are, but most of the time it's like somebody else is doing that. So
service workers, we're in the service business, customer service business,
100%.
Just like Zappos. We're a customer service business that just happens to sell shoes. Have you seen that?
I've heard of Zappos before, but I never heard that term.
Yeah, so Amazon bought Zappos for the culture. They had a great culture at their company, and Amazon purchased Zappos, the shoe company. That's how it went down.
Okay.
Ooh, I got stories, bro.
Last question for you. Let's say somebody who's like a up and coming entrepreneur, they want to kind of make it big in Hawaii as a business owner or as a small business. What's one piece of advice that you would give that person?
Talk to people who you want to be like, or if they have a business, talk to someone who's done it before. I can tell you right here, if I looked around and talked to the people who are now my peers and the top guys in the printing industry in Hawaii, would I choose to go into the printing industry? No.
Really?
No, because I'm looking at all these guys in the printing industry, and we're the same size as them. I said, how much are they making a year? Do I want to have this guy's life? Are they at 3.5 million? Let's just say it's 3.5 million, right? These guys. And 20 employees or 30 employees. I got 9 employees, and I'm doing just the same as them.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really want that guy's life. So that's why I've expanded into the media business, expanding on our real estate portfolio, which is my family's business. That's why we're going higher and higher. But we've built a platform to amplify everything that we've done in the past. And the goal is real estate ownership.
And all this, the big thing is like you're picking up skills and resources and relationships along the way. So like anything you do in the future, you already have this foundation of other things you can pull on. So like even for us, like our business is always pivoting, but because of like the success that we had here or the wins and the skills we picked up over here or team members, now when we pivot to the next venture, we have all this other things that's kind of like the wind in our sails to help us like do more and have like more like options or tools in our tool belt.
Yeah, it's just like investing. It's compounding. And that's why if you stay in the game long enough, you can win. Yeah. And you got to stay in the game long enough to win.
Yeah, 100%.
Or else you just be hopping around and everyone's like, I don't trust that guy. He's doing this business and this business and this business. You jack of all trades, master of none. I think the saying goes longer, but do you have a mentor besides Ryan Pinette? Do you have a local mentor in here in Hawaii who you look up to or want to be like?
Not really, I'd say. Yeah, Ryan he's probably like my only mentor at this point in time. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you mine.
Sure, please.
I got a few. One is my dad. One is my cousin Edward Khalil from Australia.
Okay.
Learn from him. He comes down every year and his family for the past 30 years. And he comes and audits our business.
Okay.
When we were at 600,000, he says, you got to be at 800,000. We come back next year, be 800,000. He says, you're at 800,000, you got to be 1.2 million. I'm like, how the hell am I going to sell that many banners and shirts to get there? Like, it was kind of out of my thought. Mm-hmm. Then we got to 1.2, then we got to 2, then we got to 3. Then, go. And it comes down to, you got to talk to different people who have been where you want to go.
Yeah.
Because a lot of successful people will show you the path that got them there, and they'll tell you what pitfalls to watch out for, what people to watch out for, and what the formula is to success. Because success echoes. It leaves footprints.
Yeah.
Follow those paths. There's a real estate owner, investor here that I can just give his initials.
Okay.
It's SM.
Okay.
And this guy has built over $1 billion portfolio here.
Wow.
Huge. It's $1.5 billion, and it fluctuates $500 million here and there.
Sure.
And he's been a mentor for a few years now. And I met him at coffee at Starbucks Kahala with my dad. His friend Roy King from First Hawaiian Bank says, you got to meet Jean-Paul. He's a young entrepreneur and could use your guidance. I ended up meeting him. He said, follow me. So I went to his eye doctor appointment. He's talking the whole time, about 45 minutes. And he says, I'd like to meet with you again. He's part of YPO, the Young Presidents Organization, Hawaii chapter.
Okay.
So I told him about our businesses. I say, we got JPEG Hawaii, which is our design, print, and install business. We got JPEG Media, which is our media business. He said, Jean-Paul, you need to take the profits from both of those businesses and invest in your real estate business. I said, I'm not in the real estate business. He said, let me tell you a short story. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs like you, and I've helped them become multimillionaires. And this one entrepreneur, his father passed away, and he had a trucking company. And on that trucking company, they had a parking lot where they parked their trucks. When it came time to sell the business and sell the trucks, they also sold the parking lot. And it turned out the parking lot was worth more than all the business combined. That was the asset was worth the most. So in the end, he was really in the real estate business, and his trucks were funding that business. So he said, Jean-Paul, you really have to learn that you're in the real estate business, even if you don't know it. And he owns self-storage companies.
Okay.
He owns assisted living companies. He owns downtown buildings. He owns shopping centers. Wide portfolio. So you can see his work online. Yeah. And I'll tell you his name offline.
Yeah.
But he said, I can show you the path, but you need to take these steps. So each time I come back, I show him I've done those steps. Nice. Whether I made the progress or not, you got to be honest.
Yeah.
I said, I want to be like you. And it wasn't in the industry that I was currently in.
Really interesting. I mean, there's a story about, like, the McDonald's story, right? Like the real estate industry. And there's also some commercial things that we were thinking about doing, like that we'll talk you through offline and stuff. But it's just like, it's so interesting how, like, the real estate can be the foundation, and then the business just pays to, like, get the real estate up in value. It's really interesting.
It's like the business model is like you own the land, you own the business which is on that land, and you own the building that the business is renting from for that land. And when you
sell it later, like, the building and the land is where the real value is. The building and the land.
Yeah, you're not in the hamburger business. Yeah. You're in the real estate business.
I love it.
That's from Founders. Yeah.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
What a Ray Kroc. What a bastard.
What a brilliant bastard.
That's a brilliant bastard. I wouldn't use that name as the podcast, but someone should. That name is dope.
But dude, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.